My Family's Dairy Farm by Katie Olthoff. My Family's Dairy Farm, written by Katie Olthoff, photographed by Jen Hinman, printed as a special project of the Iowa Agriculture Literacy Foundation and the Midwest Dairy. Hi, my name is Lucas, and this is my family's farm. We raise corn, alfalfa, and dairy cattle. Lucas' grandparents had about 80 cows, then the farm expanded in 1997 to 350 cows. Over the years, the family has built more dairy barns and added cows. Now they have about 1,100 cows on the farm. Dairy farmers focus on sustainable nutrition. Their goal is to create a nutritious food that is good for the planet and the community. Dairy cattle are very calm animals, but they require a lot of care. We make sure they have feed and water. We also make sure that they are comfortable. See the soft beds where they're laying, and see the big fans that keep them cool? The barn keeps them warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Lucas's family raised Jersey cows. Jerseys are usually brown and great at making milk. Another popular breed of dairy cattle in the U.S. is Holstein. Holsteins are black and white. Each of our cows has a baby calf. Every year, after the cow gives birth, its body starts making milk. Did you know cows make milk to feed their calves and continue producing milk as long as they are regularly milked? Many of the baby calves will grow up to become mothers themselves and become part of the milking herd. Cow's milk provides us with many important nutrients. It is a great source of protein, calcium, and vitamin B12. The milk from cows can also be made into yogurt, ice cream, and butter. Most of the milk from our farm is made into cheese. Jersey cows make milk that is high in fat and protein. Protein helps build muscle and repair muscle tissue. Calcium helps build and maintain strong bones and teeth. Vitamin B12 helps with normal blood functions and keeps the nervous system healthy. Cheese is made from milk that contains a lot of fat and protein. Like the milk from Lucas's farm, nearly half, which is 48% of all milk, is used to make cheese. Our cows spend about half the day laying down, but they're not lazy. These bodies are always making milk. 3 times a day they line up to get milked. When we open the gate, they know it. Did you know cows are milked at 4:30 a.m., 12:15 p.m., and 8:30 p.m.? Cows like having a steady routine. They head to the milking parlor, then each teat is washed with soap. We attach all 4 teats to the milk machine. The machine gently sucks the milk out of the udder. 3 times a day, the milking parlor is cleaned to keep the milk safe. Using state-of-the-art equipment prevents contamination. Food safety is one of the top priorities for farmers. The whole process takes about 5 minutes. See those computer screens? They keep track of how much milk comes from each cow. Each of our cow makes about 55 pounds of milk each day. That's almost 7 gallons, enough to fill 112 little cartons of milk, like the ones at school. Each cow has an ear tag with an electronic ID. This is like a name tag that can be read by a computer. When the cow is milked, the computers keep track of how much milk is produced. If a cow is making less milk than normal, it tells the farmer that something might be wrong. If that happens, the cow is guided to an area where it can be assessed for any health issues. Our cows have to eat a lot to be healthy. It takes about 1 acre of farmland to grow the alfalfa and corn needed for 1 cow. Dairy farmers consult with an animal nutritionist to help determine which feed rations should be used. A well-balanced ration helps the cattle healthy. We mix together feed ingredients using recipes called rations. The rations change as the cows get older. The rations give the cattle exactly the right nutrients that they need, and they love it. Veterinarians also monitor the cattle and treat illness when needed. After the milk is collected, it is filtered and cooled. Then it is hauled away to the processor. The processor will make our milk into cheese. If a cow is sick, it might need a little medicine like antibiotics. In that case, the cow will be milked in a different area, and the milk will not be used. This ensures that there are no antibiotics in the milk that is sold for humans to drink. But still, the milk is tested several times before it goes to the store or gets made into cheese. In addition for testing for antibiotics, it's also tested for harmful bacteria. The protein and fat content can also be measured through testing. The milk truck comes once a day to pick up the milk. Before loading up the truck, we test the milk for safety. Then the milk is tested again at the processor. If there's anything in the milk that might make people sick, it is not used. Milk can go from the farm to the grocery store shelves in about 2 days. Did you know cheese takes a little bit longer to make? Keeping these barns clean is a part of our job. In most of our barns, the cattle manure drops through the slats in the floor. It is stored underground in really big tanks until we can spread it in our fields. It makes great fertilizer for plants. In addition to using manure as fertilizer, it can also be recycled by squeezing out the water from the solid plant matter. Some dairy farms use sand to make beds for cows, but Lucas's family used dry manure, which is really just plant matter that wasn't digested by the cows. Some dairy farms even the dry manure and use it to make biodegradable flower pots. Others use the manure to produce biogas, which can be used for electricity, heat, natural gas, or vehicle fuel. Using manure as a fertilizer is one way we take care of the environment. We also recycle water on our farm and plant cover crops to improve soil health. We even have a farm pond that catches the water from the driveways. Wildlife like muskrats live there. Cows drink up to 40 gallons of water per day, so dairy farmers work hard to conserve water. On Lucas's farm, the water is first used to cool the milk before the cows drink it. The cold water and warm milk flow through different parts of the same machine. The water is warmed up by the milk, and the milk is cooled down by the water. Taking care of the environment, recycling, and making more food with fewer resources are all important to my family. When the water flows from the tanks for the cattle to drink, the cow prefer warmer water even in the summer. In addition to recycling water and manure, Lucas's family used soil conservation techniques on their fields and looks for ways for their farm to be more efficient and sustainable. Lucas's family farm supports several jobs in their community. From the milkers to the milk hauler to the processors' employees, dairy farms are an important part of rural economics. Our family works together on our dairy farm along with several employees. The employees help us take care of the cows and milk them each day. I love working with the cows, and I am proud of the milk and cheese that comes from our family's farm. Dairy farms have become much more efficient and sustainable since Lucas's grandparents began milking cows several decades ago. According to U.S. Dairy, the environmental impact of producing a gallon of milk today involves 30% water, 21% less land, 21% less manure, and 19% smaller carbon footprint than it did in 2007. With innovative and dedicated farmers like Lucas's family, the dairy farms of the future are sure to make even more advancements and become even more sustainable.